Morning folks, first time we've had full packs on since we were walking the bib.
So our packs are pretty small, 36 litres and 48 litres. And what we're carrying is lightweight, not quite ultralight. And lots of people want to know how we do it, so let's show you now.
What's in my pack? First of all, the pack is an Osprey Exos 48. Main thing I love about these bags is this suspension netting and harness system they've got. It's just brilliant, absolutely the best thing. Okay, I'm going to start down here. Butt pad, it's always good to carry. Having it there actually allows you to stand your bag up as well. Got my thongs, just for a round camp. Have them sitting there. Usually they're dirty, so they just swing around. In the outside pockets, firstly this nice big stretchy one here. Uniqlo puffer, really good. We're onto our second generation of the Uniqlo puffers. Also in the front, I've sort of got my rain gear. So my jacket, I've got a MacPack jacket. Also in there, because it's easy reach, is my rain pants. If it suddenly starts raining, you can just drop your pack, get these things out straight away. You don't have to worry about unpacking your pack, getting in there. Now, on one of the sides here, my side packs, one of the most useful things, a mozzie net, the head net, the fly net. And it's there, and I've got it hooked on with a little carabiner, just so I don't lose it. But when it's in this pocket here, easy reach, you can be walking along. Once again, you don't have to stop to get your equipment out. As most people probably know who have done this, having to stop and unpack something, take your pack off and unpack something from your pack to get it, means you probably won't do it. You're just going to keep walking. Also, what's in this pocket? This is one of the handiest little things I brought as well. It's a beanbag. I didn't bring a tripod for my GoPro, so you can sit this, on a rock in between tree branches, and you just nestle your GoPro in there, turn it on, and do a walk past shot or anything like that. And that's that. And my GoPro's usually in my pocket though. So. Bit of sunscreen, mozzie spray, and our water filtration system. We'll go more into this and a few other things in another video, but that's the dirty water bag. Goes through your water filtration system into either a Platypus bag or your bladder, water bladder, which is in your bag. Back over to this side, this pocket. Once again, hooked on with a carabiner, so I know exactly where it is and it won't fall out and get lost. This is my pack rain cover, and one of my favourite things, brolly. All there, all in nice easy reach. Also you get to know, if you put them back in the same side, you know where all your stuff is. In the zip challenge, if you remember that, I was walking along and I was imagining unpacking my bag, because I know where everything is, on which side, if it's at the front or it's the back or it's in a side pocket. And that's the way I went through my zip challenge. I just slowly unpacked my bag and worked everything out. Last thing in this side pack, if we're carrying a spare gas bottle, that goes in there just because it fits. Obviously the water bladder, which is in there. I won't show you that. Okay, onto the top of my bag. This pack has a floating lid, so you can actually take this off. When I was walking the Camino, I had this off and strapped on the front, so I had this front pouch. It was good. I had a camera in there. Some people would like it. I've moved away from it. But basically, in the top, I had my beanie and some of our first aid kit. In here, I've got a tick freezer. This is mainly for Bob. and inner soles to go into your shoe. Help with shin splints and things like that. Underside of my hood is another pocket. In there, this is where I kept my ditty bag. So it's basically the bag of the stuff you use a lot, but it's all small stuff and you want to keep in one spot. Head torch, that's one of the only lights we bought. My toiletries bag, the extras bag, things like nail clippers, extra shoelaces, some matches, a bit of string, things like that. Oh. And this little thing, this is called a Crunch It, and it's from Jetboil. What this does is when you've finished your gas containers, you can puncture these, so make sure there's no gas left in them. You can puncture these. Once they're punctured, they can go into a recycling bin and be recycled. So, there you go. What else is in here? Extra GoPro batteries and their charger, my towel, Cedar Summit Micro-fibre air light towel, super light, and Kobo. I'm not a big reader, but two things with this. Because you end up going to bed at sunset and waking up with the sunrise, that's fine, but you can be in bed for about 10 hours or more, 12 hours, depends on what time of year you hike. First of all, you wake up in the middle of the night, you just start reading. There's not much else to do. These switch off automatically, so you can just read, fall asleep, and know that these will just turn themselves off. The other thing is we were using these as lights because they can get quite bright when you switch them right up. And the batteries in these last forever. One of the things I was really impressed with, although we didn't have to test it too much, is a pack liner. The thing with these pack liners, they are 100% waterproof. I've seen people do these up and swim across a river using them as a float. So even if you're out, if you're getting absolutely drenched, you know that when you get to camp, all your food, all your sleeping gear, all your spare clothes, they're all dry. And there's just no question about that. So it might be a bit miserable walking along, but you know when you get to camp, you're going to be sorted. I used to carry the Jetboil. So inside there was dishcloth, the gas and the actual cooker itself. It all fits in. If you put the dishcloth in the top and stuff it in, it stops it from rattling. So you don't hear this rattle as you're walking along. I also carried what we call the kitchen. We will go into this in more depth at some stage, but it basically carried our spoons, our cups, foldable cups, and things like oil, which I wanted to keep standing up. This was a food warmer, because we did a lot of dehydrated food, which we'll also go into in another video. Kath made these, and they lasted the whole trip as well, so brilliant. Absolutely great. On one side I would have the food bag. This is the main thing that range it. On the side here I'd have the food bag. This is the only thing that ranged in weight.
Varied.
Or varied. It depended if we had a 3-day hike or a 6-day hike. So that's, I took all the food. As we walked, it got lighter and lighter the more we ate. So. Also, my drone. Inside here I've got the drone, the controller, and 4 different batteries. 3 of them for the drone, and also that, which is a 20,000 milliamp power bank. It's quite a big one. There's a bit of weight to it, but the thing is this kept the GoPros, or 2 GoPros, 2 phones going. It's probably a little bit overkill, but I would rather carry a couple extra grams and make sure that we've got the power. And those things you recharge in each town you go to. We had a 0 day in each town, so plenty of time to recharge these sort of things. Also down towards the bottom, because you keep your heavier stuff towards the middle and towards your back. So down towards the bottom, that's my clothes bag, my spare clothes bag. I had 2 sets of clothes basically, one to hike in, one to camp in, and 3 pairs of socks, because I like dry socks. Yeah. And last thing, a sleeping bag and silk liner. Kath carried our tent and sleeping mattresses. I carried our food and our kitchen. Basically, that's how we split things up. Oh, and the last thing, generally what I was wearing, so the hat, seen that before, gaiters. We wore our gaiters for the whole time, the whole 1000k, and I think we saw, like half a dozen snakes along the whole way. Most people see a lot more than we did. Apart from the snakes, it helps, just gives you confidence to brush through the bush. I'm sure we're re-recording this, so you know what I mean. Hiking poles, pacemaker sticks, 86. We got these. They're telescopic, fairly lightweight, fairly strong. We had these on the Camino, so we just took these along on the bib. And last but definitely not least, love these as well. These took me on a 1,000 kilometre hike, the training beforehand, and I've been wearing them every day since. I won't be surprised if they do another 1,500 kilometres.
Coming up next, Kath's pack with all the sleeping stuff.